Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course. Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering. Off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler video series videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I needed to finally review these now, otherwise I was just going to eat them. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm in my back room today, which means we get Peter Can Thunderbolt poster. Peter Can Thunderbolt poster. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I am doing something else. What is it? I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today? Happens to be my Magnolia Park shirt. Yeah, man. If you're unfamiliar with the band Magnolia Park, so was I up until a little bit earlier this year. They were on tour with another band that I like called South Arcade. And, when I saw South Arcade was going to be coming through, I didn't care who they were coming with. I just, And I ended up absolutely loving Magnolia Park, man. They were actually the headliners of the tour. They blew me away, man. Like, great production, great energy, just like fucking killed it, man. Crowd was just like going with it, man. Just afterwards, I went over there, started looking into their music more. Really, really like their stuff. It ranges a little bit, some of their stuff I'm not that into, but especially this last album they did, I really loved. I actually got some videos of their performance that I attended. Those videos are on my channel in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction as far as their music is concerned because I think they're awesome. But anyway, what am I trying for today, folks? What are we doing here? Why was I going to eat it if I didn't finally review it? Well, folks, that's because it happens to be, boom, from fine folks at Lay's. These are their kettle cooked cheesy buffalo dip flavor potato chips. Okay, it's a limited time flavor. You got the whole NFL association thing. Also, I don't know if this is a different bag material or something. Seems a little bit shit's shiny and stuff. Anyway, potato chips. Let's get a thing for the thing here. It looks like this. Okay. Yeah, something like that, I guess. Yeah, there we go. Ha 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 ha! Let's try out some kettle chips. Yeah, I got these at a gas station like, I don't know, a week ago or something, and like on multiple occasions I've almost eaten them. Finally, I was like, I need to review them now. Potato chip. Okay, that's not bad. I do have some points of contention though. I'll say right off the bat, the texture of the chip. I like kettle chips. You get that extra strong crunch. These are not the best kettle chips in terms of texture I've ever had. Um, they're a little bit softer than some that I've had, and that's not to say like they still have good crunch to them and everything. But I've definitely there are certain brands where it's like you get that real proper crunch. These are slightly lacking in that regard, but not to a huge extent. They're nice tasting kettle chips and not bad texture. Flavor wise, this is where my big point of contention comes in. The cheesiness is there. There is a little bit of tanginess from the buffalo flavor, but there is not nearly enough buffalo flavor, and there's not nearly enough zinginess from it. Because, buffalo sauce, if you've never had it before, it's basically a hot sauce. It's very strong in flavor, has a nice tanginess to it. You can't really mistake it for anything else. It has such a unique flavor. And while there is some of that here, it is not to the extent that I would have liked to have seen. They definitely went heavier on the cheesy aspect than the buffalo aspect. And the cheesy aspect is nice. Cheese flavored potato chips are good. They've been around for a million billion years. they're a good time, but I really wanted them. I was hoping that they would highlight the Buffalo aspect more so. And, again, it's there, but for me, it just feels more subdued than I want it to. Buffalo sauce is not a flavor that should ever feel subdued. It should always be at the forefront. It should always be the standout. But in this, it really is just blended in with the cheesiness. So you do get some tanginess, but you almost get more tanginess from the sharpness of the cheese. So, yeah, they're good tasting chips, but they definitely don't live up to what I feel like they could have. Um, there is a tiny bit of heat to it, a tiny bit, and when I say tiny, I mean tiny, but there is like a tiny tickle at the back of my throat. Uh, but yeah, I mean, they're still good, they're still tasty, but I feel like, especially with it being a limited edition flavor, like, go bold, for fuck's sake, it's the NFL, man, like, hit that shit. I feel like they decided to go over there, play it too safe with this. They didn't have to be crazy spicy or crazy tangy or whatever, but I wanted the main flavor when I bit into these to be that buffalo flavor. Instead, I'm getting some decent tasting kettle chips where mostly the cheese is at the forefront. Well, again, I do like the flavor of it. Overall, I think it's still pretty nice. These could have been so much better. I don't lament them for what they are. I lament them for what they could have been. Not living up to their potential. Much like Brandon Wenzel throughout middle and high school. Just saying, I heard that phrase more than once. Two questions have to be asked, though. Would I get him again? Would I recommend him? Maybe and kinda. I definitely am not going to go over there and give these like a huge shout out. Like, I really thought that this would be an easy fucking touchdown football reference for these, because like these are cheese and buffalo, two strong flavors. They work well with chips. No reason why they couldn't have worked, but again, I feel like they just dialed it way back or way too far back, and they don't have the exuberance, the fun of what a real cheesy buffalo dip would taste like, And it's like, I'm not expecting it to be 1-to-1, but at the very least, try to emulate some of that oomph, some of that huzzah. I don't feel like these did that. So for me personally, I don't mind them as a flavor. They're still pretty tasty. They're cheesy chips with a little bit of a zing to them. But they definitely wouldn't be a go-to for me, limited edition or not, That's why if I'm recommending them, kinda. I'm not going to give them a huge recommendation, but at the same time, they're not bad for what they are. I'm sure some people would probably really enjoy these. Because, again, fundamentally, cheesy, zingy potato chips. But if you're going into it expecting those bold flavors, I do feel like you're going to be disappointed. So for me, like, I can't go over there and be like, you should try it. They're good. They're decent. If you want to pick up a bag, fine. But I do think Lay's has done better, and I feel like this is one where they really could have gone all out, and they just weren't willing to put it in. So, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there and have themselves a truly buffalo-tastic rest of your life. Like proper buffalo sauce, man. Proper buffalo sauce, that'll make your fucking day. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what do you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. When we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there, whenever possible, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully. Do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, let me know. What's your personal take on buffalo sauce? And, do you like to include buffalo flavors in your NFL flavor pairing stuff? I don't care at all about football. Like, the only thing I care about with football is because I'm from Illinois, so of course we have the Chicago Bears, and I just actively root against them because I don't hate them, mind you. They're fine. Fine athletes, all that good stuff, I'm sure. I just hate the fact that Illinois and Chicago in particular, we have convinced ourselves that we're a football city, and we've not been a football city within my lifetime. I know that we have a history. I get that. I know that we had, the famous 85. I get that. Within my lifetime, I was born in 1986, we ain't done a goddamn thing. So for me, I don't really think we're a football city. I just don't see it. Maybe ownership change, blah, 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 blah. I personally, when they were talking about, maybe we're going to move the team, I was like, fine, maybe. I don't care. But